Welcome to the Q&A podcast. You can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Let's talk that shit.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4. My name's Alvin.
My name's Quinn,
My name's Manjit.
and we are the Q&A podcast. So today we're going to be talking about games that lived up to the hype and games that didn't live up to the hype. I think this is a pretty good topic for us to talk about. We're going to touch on it a little bit throughout the show while we just shoot the shit like we always do on the Q&A podcast. So let's get right into it. How's your week, guys?
Hectic.
Hectic?
Hectic.
Manjit?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's been I wouldn't. It's not that bad. Been gaming as usual. I've been playing. Been watching and playing different games. We watched a lot of For Honor gameplay, a little bit more, and I'm actually downloading the beta as we speak. So,
See you guys in 2 years.
Yeah. So in the next episode, I'm probably gonna be talking about that a lot.
Hell yeah.
So I watched the Resident Evil 7 review from Angry Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Game looks pretty good. Looks pretty scary in my opinion. What do you guys think about that game? And what are your first thoughts? Like when you guys have watched gameplay, obviously.
Yeah.
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 Because we did touch about on this last episode.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, it seems pretty fucking scary, especially in VR.
Yeah, it's freaky. It's a cool game. It's a dope game, and I can see how VR can really just bring that game to another level. And I'm honestly really down to try it in VR. I'm really down to try it in VR.
I feel the same way. I feel like it was designed for VR.
Mm-hmm. It really showcases what it's capable of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Resident Evil took a different approach to this game.
Yeah.
They didn't use their typical third-person mode.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the same characters. This is
Exactly.
a brand new.
Exactly. So they kind of they
It's a breath of fresh air, I find.
Exactly. And hopefully in the newer games they could bring you into that same universe while playing as those characters that you've come to love, I guess.
Already it's heart attack inducing enough, and then you bring in VR.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
This type of game is obviously for a certain type of person, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
that likes that type of thrill, like a thriller type game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bang bang. Majid and I were talking about it a couple of days ago, and we are saying how for him he didn't find it that scary, but I found it fucking disgustingly gross and creepy and shit.
Well,
So
watching gameplay, I feel like it's scary at first,
Mhm.
but the more you watch it, it becomes oh, okay,
Repetitive?
this is gonna happen.
Okay,
you can
okay.
read
You
the game
start
a
to
little bit.
See through the lines
predict
a
what's
bit?
gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I feel like they borrowed a lot of the mechanics from Outlast for this Resident Evil,
Yeah.
the running from enemies and hiding and
Mm-hmm.
that type of mechanic where if you've never seen any gameplay yet, you're in the house and there's the family members. They're
Mhm.
you have to get away from them, kind
Right.
of. Yeah.
I also heard that in this game they actually brought back a couple old mechanics from the other games, like the puzzles and the small little.
Yeah. The
I heard about
the
that.
little mini game.
I never really played the older ones.
Okay.
I sort of did, but I don't remember them as well as I would remember another game, for example.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So do you think it lived up to the hype? Or
Yeah. I think so.
really?
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like
Obviously they could have done better,
yeah.
but I still think it's a really good
I
for
think
what
it's
it is.
better than expected from a lot of sequels. They don't not nearly as good as
It's almost like
the
a
hype.
refresh, though. It's almost
Yeah.
if you think about it, because the game is completely different, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's a really good way for someone to get when they get their VR. That's a really good game to start off with, because
Exactly.
it really showcases like what the VR could do.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess that's our take on Resident Evil 7.
Also, like, because it's like the mechanics so different from like the original Resident Evil games. So you could jump into it without having played the original ones. Like,
that's a good
you
point.
don't have to like
actually.
expect.
Very good point. Very good point. So the topic is games that lived up to the hype. So I mean, what game comes to mind when you think of a game that had so much hype behind it that maybe that actually came out and met expectations, and a game that didn't? What comes to mind when I mentioned that?
It's kind of hard because
I can't really think of it.
there's a lot of games that are like the hype was like it blew out of proportion.
I have so
like,
many games I can
Really?
name off the top. Yeah.
Share, man. Share.
Okay, so for one, Diablo 3 had a lot of hype behind it. We could talk about Destiny. We could talk about Halo 5.
But do you feel like it lived up to the hype or it didn't?
Well, a lot of them didn't, but there's a couple games that did, like Overwatch, for PC.
Yeah, I feel like that lived up.
It definitely lived up to the hype. I mean, obviously the Xbox version.
And for Overwatch, I want to touch on that.
Yeah.
I was watching the latest, like I said last episode.
Mm-hmm.
They released like YouTube updates of the developer, like what they're adding new to the game, and they're adding like a server browser. People don't remember like older games on PC. They had like server browsers, so you could find the server that had like the game type that you wanted.
Oh, that's
so you
cool.
wouldn't just like.
That's cool.
It wouldn't be like quick play, but they're adding like a thing where, like players can design the game mode that they want, so they could like, because they have like
a custom game sort of.
They have like a custom games, but the player creates their own custom games, and based on like what's the most popular custom games, they're going to take that and add it to like
to the mainstream playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They used to do that with Halo, like way back. They used to have like a thing where you'd send it into Bungie, and then like whatever got downloaded the most, because you could post it to their sort of network, I guess.
That's really good because you're like you're letting the community decide what type of game they want to play.
So have you guys played anything new recently, or no?
Like January was kind of slow for like games.
For
and
games,
stuff.
yeah. The only game I've played recently that's new is like NHL 17. I got it, like a friend of mine game shared it with me, so I think it's pretty good, but it's literally the same game like every year for sports games. I've played a lot of them. I used to be in the NHL 12. I used to be like top. I want to say top 400 or 500 in Canada, and then like 800 or something in the world.
Jesus
I think,
Christ,
or some shit like that.
What was your favorite team on playing NHL?
NHL 12. Well, at that time, I was really into hockey, so it was easier for me to like choose a team and to what I like. I used to use the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. But now, like, since I pretty much stopped watching hockey, I don't follow.
Out of the loop, kind of.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of the loop, so I don't really know as far as like what I want on a team. So I'm kind of like getting back into it, and I'm doing like Ultimate Team mode. You know what Ultimate Team is?
Yeah.
They have that for FIFA and for Madden and shit. So I'm getting into that. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's like how would I say this? Like you build your own team, you get like cards, and then
I seen that for FIFA, so I have a
it's
kind of
really
an idea.
Honestly, they make a lot of money off that shit because like in
like
order for your team
points
to be good, you have to pay. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's very.
It's
hard.
like really like RNG, like this packs, and you open them, and it's like RNG based. Like sometimes you could get lucky and get like an amazing player.
So games that lived up to the hype. I mean, I mentioned Destiny. Have you guys played Destiny?
No, but I seen a lot of gameplay.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
What about
for me?
What
it
about
feels really repetitive. Like if you like those type of games, I don't.
But what about the Division? The Division had a humongous amount of hype behind it, don't you think?
Yeah, but went the opposite direction. Like at least Destiny still has like a pretty big player base.
Yeah,
Division died out, man.
But from what I heard, I heard they're actually like finally starting to like update the game, and they're adding a lot of things that were promised to be at launch now.
Yeah,
which is already it's pretty much too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's like a lesson learned, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
as long as they keep that mentality for their other games, because I feel like they learned their lesson for one game, then they release another game, and then. Yeah, exactly. They make the same mistake, and then later on in the patch, like later on the lifespan, they add an update to like refresh it, but just release the game people wanted first of all, and then you won't have to like.
I feel like they're gonna make the same mistake with For Honor.
You think so?
Well, I mean, it's Ubisoft's like that's like their like it seems to be like a trend for them. Like they always promise something, and then when the game comes out, it's like nowhere near what they said it was gonna be.
I hope, because from seeing I know this is like a beta thing for like servers to be unstable, but I hope once the game releases, like that's not a trend where it has a lot of connectivity issues.
Yeah, and like just to mention another Ubisoft title, Watch Dogs 1. Watch Dogs 1 had a really big amount of hype on it.
Yeah, that's true.
It did, right? And it really disappointed.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is too bad because a friend of mine actually had his song featured on the soundtrack.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's really actually cool. Like I went to high school with him and stuff, so that.
And he's like, shit, it flopped, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just for him.
What do you think of Watch Dogs 2?
Well, I saw some gameplay.
I think it's a step up. Like they kind of learned from the.
It looks better. Like it definitely looks better.
Yeah.
What I always appreciated though in Ubisoft is like their approach to like AI, I guess, like the way that they make the NPCs. It's very unique compared to most games. Like you could do things that like I don't remember exactly what, but there's a lot of things you could do in a Ubisoft, like in the Watch Dogs 2 game.
Yeah.
That were very like surprising to me from the stamp, like comparing it to GTA. Yeah. There's like something that really separates it from GTA.
Well, it's cool, like the mechanic of the hacking stuff, and like it's pretty in depth, I guess. Like you hack like security cams and like see inside people's houses and stuff. That's really like I never seen that from any other game.
So to take it back actually a bit, a game that definitely lived up to the hype, I would say, was Halo 3. When that came out, that was like that literally set the groundwork for first person shooters, like, you know what I mean, like on console, because Halo was already a hit on the original Xbox, but once Halo 3 came out, a lot of people started to copy their format. And like I was watching this video actually, and it said how Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out a little bit after Halo 3 did, and once Halo 3 died down, Call of Duty 4 became that's when that game really started to take off, and then it beat Halo in sales, I think, or that couple months later, it just started to become like the most played game because obviously people were getting bored of Halo.
Yeah,
you know, they wanted something different, and that's exactly why I bought that game. I bought that game because I wanted just something different to play.
Yeah,
and then it just caught on, you know, and that's what set the groundwork for Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and then after that, Modern Warfare, and then like it became literally like a Michael Bay like movie series. Like it started off with like the foundation, and then just more and more overkill explosions, and like, you know what I mean. What do you guys think of the Call of Duty franchise?
I feel like they're going for like too far from what they started off with. Like they're not staying true to the franchise.
That's what I'm saying. Like they know, like what made them great was the fact that you were in the, like, that there was a realism to what you were doing. Like Call of Duty 2, probably one of the best. It
kind of felt like like obviously it's like arcadey, but it had like a kind of like realism of like a military shooter.
Exactly, and that's like the game Medal of Honor. I don't know if you guys remember those games. Yeah. Like Medal of Honor, I think that the team that created Medal of Honor is also a lot of that team moved on to make Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
But Call of Duty was like the perfect balance of like simulation war and like arcadey and like kind of fun at the same time.
But I feel like
that's what made them great though.
I feel like a part of that is because of like one of the main teams for Infinity Ward, they left and they branched out to make Titanfall. Yeah. So I feel like that probably has
but doesn't but what about Treyarch? Isn't that a company as well? Or is
Treyarch and Infinity Ward, they like take turns to make
they're this, okay.
Like Black Ops series is Treyarch. Yeah. Modern Warfare series is Infinity Ward.
Okay.
Like with Call of Duty, like it goes to show like what like what they did when they released the remaster with Infinite Warfare. Like people bought the game just for the remaster, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that it shows a lot.
Mhm.
It shows a lot that you should just do what you did before. Like like go back to your roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the next COD, like they're going to go back to the World War One, World War
Yeah,
Two.
I think so.
type.
I think especially after Battlefield 1. I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
It's so
definitely
I
gonna
mean,
successful.
it
be-
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, is that they're gonna go back to that, but I don't. I feel like because Battlefield 1 did it first, I feel like they have an advantage because
Yeah.
they're testing it out right now. Like it's already out right now as we speak. So they're trying to. I think they're trying to grasp like what exactly people want, because I remember when the game came out, a lot of people were complaining about how there was too many automatic weapons,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
very uncommon at that time in the war, right? But I think the second, like when they come out with the second Battlefield, because they already have a head start about getting the community's response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just
They
imagine
already
like,
have like a foundation for
Yeah.
where to.
exactly. So just imagine Call of Duty coming out with another game in that same setting, in that World War setting, but then they add something like super gay that makes it like,
Yeah.
you
They
know what I
always
mean?
have.
Like, that puts that Call of Duty, like that really makes it say, yeah, that's a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I would like honestly, why not just have both? That's what I've been saying. Like if you have these people that like all that techie like plasma gun stuff, have that, and also have like your M16s and your your classic guns and your classic like Call of Duty.
Do you guys ever notice that in the newer Call of Duties they don't have like weapons with actual like the names of the weapons? Like
They like made their own weapon.
yeah,
names.
like they look the same as like an AK, but they're called like the AK-92 or like
Yeah, I know, it's so stupid, man.
I don't understand that. Like, do you think there's like some sort of like licensing, like, or
No, because a lot of games they have the actual weapon name.
I guess
I think they're just trying to be cool, man, and it's not working.
Yeah.
like they're really trying
Because
too
it's supposed to
hard.
be like futuristic, so they want to show like prototypes of what
But the
guns
thing-
are going to be.
3000.
Like yeah, and like the thing that people or that they need to realize is that there's already games that do that flawlessly.
Right?
Like Titanfall was that game that introduced the whole mix of sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
and shooting, and not like making it
With mechs too, like the Titans.
yeah, like, and they made the game it was unique to the point that it wasn't copying Halo, but you could see Halo or COD, but you could see the inspiration.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like they were blatantly copying another game.
Yeah.
It was just like an inspiration.
Yeah, but like in Infinite Warfare, you could totally see like that there was like clear ripping. Like even in Black Ops 3, there's certain like those like specialists that you could
Yeah.
choose that look like Mass Effect characters, bro.
Mhm.
Like, do you remember? I can't remember what the guy's name, but you remember the guy. Did you play Black Ops 3? Did
the
you
last
play?
one I played was Black Ops 2.
Okay, do you remember? Like, I think it's when you reach level 30. There's like a robot guy that you unlock.
Yeah, he has like a kind of a
Yeah, like a sharp nose. He looks exactly like a Geth. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's fucking retarded.
you
Like,
can like pull up a picture like
yeah, no, it's. Well, we'll put it.
Yeah,
in
exactly, yeah.
We'll put it in the video, but look, like the comparison, it's like uncanny,
Yeah,
bro.
do
It's
like a side to
it's
side.
like really, like even, like, and I heard in Infinite Warfare too, like there's a lot of things that like you could tell it was like from another, like the inspiration was from another game, like the starship, like
Mm.
you know what I mean. I don't know. That's just me. When I played Black Ops 3, it immediately felt
like
like
Mass Effect.
when I was in the game, I felt like a Call of Duty game, but outside, like the menus and the specialists,
Yeah,
stuff,
like the theme
I
of
don't
it.
know. But then you see, and then Overwatch comes in,
hmm
does literally almost the exact same thing, but adding that like tactical aspect, that teamwork,
Yeah.
the fact that you can't just run out there and fucking own everybody.
Yeah.
I think a game like that is a game that I want to play. They also announced apparently that they're coming out with the Battlefront 2, and like it's officially confirmed that they're gonna have a campaign mode in it. Like that's the first
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like
like-
before anything, they're like there will be a campaign. I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
fucking hope so. Fuck that game. I paid like $49 for that game, and it's literally only multiplayer.
Lucky. I paid like $79 for that game, bro.
Really? Well, I got a used copy. There was no way I was
Okay.
buying it used. But you guys hear about the GameStop shit?
Oh yeah.
How GameStop has been
They
selling.
have like a
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
have like they teach like their employees to like follow some type of thing
Like
called like
some
circle
form
of
The
of
life.
circle of life.
Yeah.
That's so fucked
Where
up,
they
in
like
my opinion.
encourage them to sell used games instead of new games because they get a like
A quota?
Yeah.
a quota,
meet a
and they
quota
get
at the
like a
end of the
bit because they buy games for like 10-20 bucks
Mhm.
and then
Then
they sell it for like 40-50,
Like
so they're getting a
GameStop
better cut of the profit instead of selling
GameStop
new games.
and
So
EB
they're like
Games.
encouraging their employees to like try to like
To pretty much con you.
convince
To
the
con you.
they're trying.
That's fucking whack.
And they have like testimonies from like actual GameStop employees where they feel
Yeah.
like they're lying to their customers.
Yeah.
And you see, that's very hard because I actually work in sales,
Yeah.
and working under someone is always the most difficult thing because as a salesman or someone working in retail, you want to be as honest as possible, and when you're honest, you always get the reward in the end, meaning that customer will be a repeat customer and you will create a bond between you and that customer, and that customer will come back for your service.
Yeah.
But if you're lying to their face, they won't come back.
Literally.
Like,
They'll find somewhere
they may
else.
think that you're honest at first, but when they go home and they figure
find
it
out,
out, they connect the dots.
Yeah.
If they're smart enough, obviously, then they're not going to come back.
Exactly.
And like for you, it just doesn't sit well. Like for someone working in that appreciates customer service, that's literally doing it because they love to help out people, and like, you know what I mean? It's really hard for someone to be like, well, when they ask you this, just tell them this. But this is like when you know in actuality that you
Yeah.
can
But it's hard
do that.
when you know it's like it's wrong, but like you don't want to lose your job, so you're kind of forced in that
because you're
position.
reporting to a
Exactly.
higher up.
That's why it's like GameStop's like slash EB Games, they have this way of like killing their employees like inside. Because I remember this one guy, like I used to know him from high school, and then he worked at EB Games. He just became like just cold, you know, like just telling, like buying back like PS3s from like little kids for like $20 and shit like that.
It makes you like cynical, kind of.
Exactly. It just makes you, I don't know, just like cold inside. You know what I mean? Like you're
going against your morals.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing something you don't want to do, but someone else is like forcing you to do it, right?
Yeah.
In order to get a paycheck at the end of the day. And
Well,
I think everyone battles with this though, not just people.
I
But
understand to a certain extent where they have to like make money and they have to keep their business open, right? Like that's their business model.
That's
But
too
like the
much,
way
though.
they go about it is like screwing over the customer
But
and their employees at the same time, because they're forcing them in that position.
But like the thing we have to realize is that this is something that happens all the time in like every industry, bro. Like there's so much lying going on behind not only just GameStop, but
I feel like
but anything. Like I'm a victim of that. Like I've done that before. Like I've worked in sales and told a customer something when it was actually something else, just because my manager said that.
But I feel like
You know what I mean?
I
You
feel
have to
like
obey
EB Games,
orders.
Yeah.
I feel like EB Games, the reason why they get so much shtick for it is because of also what man just said, the way they go about it and the arrogance behind how they go about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they know that we know
Yeah.
that you're conning us.
Yeah.
Yet they're doing it like carelessly and like with a smirk almost on their face. I think that's what pisses most people off about like.
But the only way that's going to change is if people like just stop getting it, like their games to EB Games.
Boycott EB Games. Like,
And
why
I heard
not?
something too. Apparently, when Watch Dogs 2 is on sale for like $30, like the higher ups and
They say
GameStop, they
say
told
that-
them to like hide the new game inventory,
exactly.
so they would be forced to sell like the used game, so they would sell it for more than the sale was. Like they would sell it for $40, and the sale was for $30 for a brand new game. So they would force the employees to sell a used game for more than the brand new game was.
That's why I end up normally buying my games directly from Microsoft or directly from my console, like the digital copy.
Yeah.
And that way I also could share it with friends and stuff like that. Cause like,
I
and a
love
lot
the
of
hard
there's
copy, though.
there's promotions too online.
Yeah.
And like, I guess, I don't know if it's like has anything to do with it, but I'm assuming if you pay for the digital game, you don't pay as much as for the physical.
Yeah.
But at least you know that you're getting the
the
legitimate price of what the game is worth, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's why a lot of, you know, this like my Steam library, like there's no way I would have that in like physical copies. It would take up too much space, you know.
Yeah.
But like having the option to get it digital, I could find so much like better sales from like different sellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still getting the Steam key, but I could get it from like a different website.
There's just something about like a hard copy that just, I don't know,
separates it from something else.
Well,
Yeah.
we
it
had
just
this
seems
debate
enticing, more
when we were
enticing.
talking about the Nintendo Switch cartridges, remember?
Yeah.
About like physical versus digital.
Yeah.
But there's still something about physical where like there has like
The
some
feeling
type
of
of
opening it
nostalgia.
and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And just looking at your stack of games and just going like,
Yeah. But I think really soon they're going to introduce a system where you could trade your games in online.
that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? So like, because I've seen it, I've seen like a similar system sort of in like, not with games, but like, for example, right? I was playing NHL 17 yesterday,
Yeah.
and there's like a promotion going on where you trade like 4 or 5 players that are rated like 79 overall.
Mm-hmm.
And then in return, you get like a pack of like 19 or 20 players that are like worth way more.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a great example, but like just imagine like, doesn't
Trade
matter
your
what, as long
games
as you have
in.
2 games that are, you know what I mean, like that have come out in the
Yeah.
last 2 years, you trade those 2 games in and you can get a
Get
game
a
for
newer
free.
game.
Yeah, you get your game.
That's cool,
Okay.
man. I like that.
Like that would be, I think that would be cool, and that would be a way to kind of avoid the whole EB Games thing. And if they do introduce that, stores like EB Games probably won't exist anymore.
Hell yeah, I'm down for that.
The only
Sometimes-
reason why GameStop exists is literally because the games, that's the only place you could buy them. Like, where else can you buy a game?
Yeah.
Best Buy. Like, see, that's the thing. You have Best Buy too.
It's like the standard game store.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel bad. I feel like two ways about this, because there are good people who work at that stores, but they're screwed over by like the higher management. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
And they're gonna like suffer. They're gonna like
And
lose their
apparently
job.
you lose
but,
your job, if you don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like pressure them. Into
And if you don't do it, like
compliant.
you have no job. Like, how could I could never live with myself, bro? Like I was
You're
doing this.
scamming
I was
people
doing
left and
something
right.
similar at like my old job,
Mhm.
and what ended up happening was they got rid of the manager because they didn't feel like he was being honest.
Yeah.
And then once he left, I felt like I could be myself because I was literally the only one in the store. So I had like, I was in control of what I was doing,
Yeah.
and like I could be honest, and
You're your own manager.
exactly. So I think that goes for a lot of people. I think that's why a lot of people nowadays
That's why
prefer
they're
to work on
self-employed.
like to work by themselves to
Yeah.
have their own business.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
you're
they don't
working
have
for
to look, have someone over their shoulder.
Exactly.
You create your own rules essentially. But everyone's a victim to this. Anyone that works a job
Yeah.
always has to.
It's not like exclusive to GameStop. Like a lot of people can relate to this in their
exactly.
own
That's what I was trying to
workspace.
say.
Like like you're saying, like in every company there's upsell. You know, like there's always a promotion somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like push, because where I work, like at the post office.
Yeah.
Like what one thing that we do
Yeah.
is that, let's say someone wants to send something, we recommend Express.
Mhm.
Because Express, if it doesn't reach the destination and it gets returned to them, they have to pay for it returning to them. And that's what they want. They want that extra cash, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's shitty. I feel so shitty about it. That's why every time when they're like, oh, I want Express, I just make sure like that's really what they want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the regional manager, she always gives me shit for it.
Yeah. But you see, like, and that's what I said. Like, it doesn't sit well.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's like a pretty big thing that's going on. Is there anything else that you guys want to touch on?
Well, I heard about something.
Mhm.
I don't know if people find this interesting, but it's like a glitch on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
where like people are losing like thousands of
I
subscribers.
saw that.
I actually.
And it's apparently the glitch is when someone subs to your channel
Mm.
and they unsub, it counts as 2 unsubs instead of 1. So people are just spamming that on people's channel, and they're getting like
And they're
negative
losing, like,
subscribers.
thousands.
Like
What's his name?
PewDiePie was losing like
what's his name?
100,000 subscribers like
Biggie 298.
every few
Yeah,
hours.
that guy, like, he's a victim of that, I think.
Yeah, and I saw like this guy, like he was doing it live.
Mhm.
Literally, you could do it as many times as you want,
Yeah.
and like that counts. It just adds up, you know.
And there's a guy who made like a video of him doing it, and he had like negative 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how that's possible, but like,
But they
their
fixed it, though,
system is
now, eh?
fucked up. They have
they
to
fixed-
patch that.
Yeah, I think they patched it. They fixed it.
They fixed it.
But you know what the thing is? They fixed it, but now people have more subscribers than they did before. So it's like fixed, but like not entirely.
I wish that could happen to us so we could get a couple thousand.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Let's go. 19. How much? We have 18 subscribers. Guys, subscribe now.
That's decent.
We never say that. Subscribe now.
Yeah,
fuck.
subscribe. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, subscribe. If you're not subscribed,
What
when
are you
you're hearing this
doing?
right now,
Leave a
go
like,
subscribe if you
share
like
it.
us. If you don't like us, then dislike the video at least. Dislike or like the video.
If you don't
That
like
way
us,
we know.
if you don't like us, like the video.
What?
Reverse psychology.
Reverse. Yeah. So, what do you think is a game that didn't live up to the hype, or that did, or that didn't? Like something off. Like
Well, obviously, like the no-brainer, No Man's Sky. Obviously,
I was
Yeah.
about
that's
to
the,
say that. I was
Yeah.
that's
about
the
to
most
say that.
overhyped game of
that was like such an
2016.
awkward pause right there, guys. Jesus. Okay. What else?
What
Let's
else?
see.
I think I could say a couple. I already said Destiny and all that.
Yeah,
I think Battlefront was also not. Didn't
Oh
live up to
yeah,
the
yeah,
hype.
that's obvious.
but like honestly, Battlefront it was pretty bad, but it wasn't that bad.
No, but it didn't live up to the hype. Like
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I guess so.
It
Yeah.
didn't live up to the
That's
hype.
true. You know what the worst thing is? I feel the same thing's gonna happen to Battlefront too.
I don't know. I think EA starting to get their act together. Like Battlefield 1 is a good example.
Yeah.
And EA is releasing Mass Effect. There's a huge amount of
Hype on that.
hype
right?
on that.
Mass Effect
You
4.
think that's gonna live
yeah.
up to the hype, Quinn?
I fucking hope so, bro. That's like my favorite franchise
Yeah.
from EA, and I'm sorry that it's from EA, but
I feel like it's gonna be a good game, but it's not gonna live up to the hype. But it's still gonna be like a playable and
That's
decent
the
game.
thing. When something is so like massively hyped,
Mhm.
it's hard to like.
Yeah. Going back to that, like on PC, the most hyped up game is Half-Life 3.
oh yeah, that's
There's
a
so
huge
many
thing to
memes
live
about
up.
it, and like they think like it's so overhyped that they don't even want to release it at this point because they're
Exactly.
going, whatever they release is gonna be like a letdown because
Exactly.
it's blown out of proportion.
That's so funny.
Like all these games, like for me, like looking at it from the outside, I don't understand why it's so hard. Like,
Well, it's hard because you're not like in the position of like making games and stuff. Like, it's
no,
hard.
that I know.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm saying is like,
Listening
what
to
you
the
do
audience.
is you take what worked and you
Yeah.
improve it. Like that's it.
But
And
that's the thing. Like,
Was-
but then
yeah.
you got people saying like, "Oh, change."
Oh
it
yeah,
up,
you're
what are
just
you
you're
doing?"
just copy and pasting. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
yeah,
you're
but
not-
okay, sure, but like, look at all the games that are still relevant to this day, right? That's literally what they are, bro.
Yeah.
It's literally the same game with additional features. But
Yeah.
what fucks developers and games up is the fact that a lot of these features or things that they add to the game
Yeah.
are not in the game when they
It's
launch.
like a DLC.
It's like, yeah.
I think
That's
the
where they
problem,
fuck
too.
up.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for being like super fucking critical, but that's just my opinion. Like fucking these game
Yeah, you have
companies
a
need to get their
point.
fucking
Yeah.
act together because it's a fucking waste of money, bro.
Yeah.
Like fuck, bro. Like I think I want to say last year I spent like a good $200-300 on games, like just buying, like just because I want to
On,
play
like,
them,
DLCs
bro.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I bought it. Oh no, I did buy a DLC to Battlefront. I couldn't help myself.
You bought the DLC.
I bought one DLC.
Well, you know what's funny about that?
Hmm.
I was thinking of getting because I have Battlefield 4, right?
Mhm.
And they just recently like each month or like every couple of weeks they gave like the free like map pack or like that
Okay.
DLC. So I was thinking again like the season pass like when the game came out, but now I have all the season pass and I never bought like they gave back to the community because I think they did it because the launch was such a
Yeah, I know
like,
they had to
so,
give it to
like,
another company to
half-assed.
fix the game because when it
Okay.
came out, it was shit.
yeah.
Like I hate when companies they do that with Naruto as well. Like they'll release a game,
Hmm.
and then have like the season pass that you pay like maybe like $30 for,
Hmm.
and literally like a couple of months later, you get it for free.
Yeah, it's
Like, with an
A
Included.
game like that shouldn't even have a fucking season pass. It's a fucking fighting game.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Like what?
kind of like Mortal
stupid.
Kombat, where if you want to play certain characters,
Yeah.
you had to pay
So
extra.
dumb, man.
Just
So
included
dumb.
in the game. Like what?
Pay $5 to
Or,
play
like-
as Goro or pre-order the game.
Yeah, that's
the
so
thing.
bullshit.
Companies these days they're so hungry for money. They,
Bang for the buck, yeah.
like back in the day, like the best feeling would be like beating like a boss or whatever,
Yeah.
and unlocking a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen that anywhere like nowadays.
That's why I feel like, okay, you want to add extra content, but don't make
At the cost of what though? Like
Exactly.
no, but like these are ways that's done well, in my opinion.
Mhm.
They release like the complete game, and then after they release like expansion or like extra content, but you're not like left like when you buy the game you're missing something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just something that you enjoy if you want to add like
Yeah.
or at
onto it.
least give us the opportunity to earn it in game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to buy it, like fine, we have to grind for it. Then a lot of people
That's
will
fine.
do that.
That's fine.
At least make the
people will
grind
do
like
that.
reasonable, not like to the point where like you're like forced to buy it because
Mhm.
you have to
But
like
even-
sink
I
so
feel
many
like
hours.
Even if you have to work extremely hard for it, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're making, because like
It's a
imagine,
paywall,
kids,
like-
imagine like kids, they pick up
Yeah.
a game. Like you're making these kids like go to their parents and
You're
like,
begging them to get it for
Yeah,
them.
like
parents,
oh, I
yeah,
really want to
exactly.
get this. It's only $5. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that sucks. Like they're not catering at all to their audiences. Like nowadays, they should really like go back to like
the fundamentals.
exactly.
The fundamentals
Yeah.
of gaming.
Yeah.
And
The good old days.
Yeah.
yeah,
The good old days.
and you see, but then this comes this topic or this comes up. It always ends up coming up. But I think that is what separates Nintendo from every other company.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo, when their games come out, You don't like
But it
in Super
depends,
Smash,
like-
right? They introduced new characters and
Yeah.
shit when it came out. It was free, right?
Well, actually, you had to buy a couple of the players.
Okay, fuck them then.
But certain this you can look back at like certain developers where they put their audience first, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they know that they're not gonna make as much money, but they take the hit because they want the overall experience to be good. Like for example,
Didn't Bethesda?
I'll
used to
say
do that?
like I don't know. They used to do it. Do they still do it? Like they release like season pass and
now
all
they
that.
do, yeah.
But I feel like a good example is like CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, right?
Mhm.
They release like a complete game, right?
Mhm.
And then they add like expansions like Blood and Wine and like you know what I mean? Like that's
You-
extra game, like extra story, but you're not missing out from the
Yeah.
original story of the game.
Just to sort of piggyback off what you're saying, to add on, I think GTA or Rockstar, is
Yeah, they
very
go
good
out
at
of their
that.
way
Yeah.
to make
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 100%.
Everything is free, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fuck. Like that game is still relevant right now. Like people are still
Yeah,
playing
I
that.
love
I still
GTA 5.
I
love
still
GTA 5.
see people playing it, and
Well,
that's
the reason for that is because they broke records and like sales and everything, and people are still playing it after all these years of the
'Cause
game was
it's
released.
also a game that you could just pick up and play.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
But-
also another game that's sorry to interrupt, but another game that's like that, well, sort of like that, is it may not seem like it, but FIFA is actually like that as well
Mhm.
with Ultimate Team,
Mm.
because there is an option where you can like buy points.
yeah,
online,
that's exactly
whatever.
what I'm doing right now in NHL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You could earn them in game
you can also earn coins.
Yeah.
which is the exact same
by getting
thing.
in the wins in
exactly,
the season.
and
Right?
also like let's say you get like 7,500 points. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you could buy a pack. Let's say you get a good player, you can sell him for like let's say 1,000,000.
you could yeah you could
Also, like
auction stuff.
if you like win, I saw this on FIFA.
Mm.
If you win tournaments and stuff, you just get free
you
packs.
get exactly.
So you're not forced to pay money. Like you
exactly.
But then
there's a skill aspect.
But
to it.
then this is what comes into play. A friend of mine that's like he plays Ultimate Team. He was like, you want to save your points for like things for your team, like contracts
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah, that's
rather
true.
than spending it on players,
that
because
is true.
that's what he said. I can't remember. He's like, you want to be saving that because it's harder to earn coins in the game,
Yeah,
right?
and also because in Ultimate Team, like you're that's also like something that bothers me, that games are too realistic nowadays. Because in Ultimate Team, your players get tired. So say you
Yeah.
have a game on Wednesday.
you brought this up in the last
yeah.
podcast.
Let's say you have a game on Wednesday, Tuesday, and then you have another game on Thursday.
Yeah.
Some players won't
You have
be
to
able
have them rested. You
exactly.
can't
They're
like
not
play them
eligible to play because
consecutive
they're too
games.
tired.
Yeah.
What? Like doesn't make any sense. So you have to buy like I don't know, what do you have to buy on the freaking thing? Red Bull? Doesn't make any sense. Your players can't
Sponsored
play
by
with-
Red Bull, you have to buy it.
exactly. Oh man, it sucks, man. It really sucks. Like I don't know. I just feel like you should just go back to like you're still making money even if you're not adding on all these things for extra money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are gonna be more happy, and they're gonna want to buy your game next time you release another one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, another example, for example, like League of Legends and CS:GO, everything in the game you could get in the game. You know what I mean? By playing the game. But the only extra thing are the skins, and that's what makes them money.
Okay.
But it's not like stat boosts or anything.
Yeah, it's not like mandatory.
It's just like aesthetics. That's it. It's like that's like the type of game that I feel like is like balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not like
But
you're left out if you don't pay for something.
then again, I feel like a lot of companies that have this format or like that have this this philosophy or this way of rewarding players by playing.
Yeah.
I think there are more games that have a niche audience.
Yeah.
I mean, games that are a little bit more underground that are not really mainstream. For example, Gears of War is one of those games. Like, yeah, you could buy shit and there's season pass and all that, but you can earn in-game currency and buy the exact same shit that you're paying for. It takes a lot longer there. Like, you have to really grind for it.
Yeah.
But it's still, you have the option of doing that, which is cool. And I think this is mostly for games that are not necessarily like Gears of War is the type of game, or like these type of games. I feel like these are the type of games where you either fucking love it or you play it once and you fucking hate it and you're never gonna play it again.
Yeah, it's it has like
your first playthrough determines how, like, if you like the game or not.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when it goes for like Naruto and like all these other games you guys play and like that I play. It's literally preference. It's literally like some people are enticed by certain things.
Yeah.
And
there's
that's
certain games that like grow on you. Like at first you might not like it, and then like the more you play it.
Exactly.
That's very true.
And a game like Naruto is probably a game like, see, I don't really watch Naruto, so it doesn't really have a connection with me, but I'm sure you watch it, right? So that's why. So that's another reason why, regardless, even if the game is shit or like it doesn't meet your standards, you're still gonna buy it because you're loyal to the franchise.
Exactly. I understand exactly what you mean.
It's the same thing with me in Star Wars. Like if a Star Wars games come out, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Even if shit, like even if you hear like bad things about it.
It's still Star Wars to me. Like I'm still gonna give it a shot. Like I'd rather take a leap of faith or like a risk with something that I really like than taking a risk with something I have no idea about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like overall, like when these type of games come out, then they're normally like they're decent, but they're not worth $60.
Exactly.
Like they're not worth or whatever you're paying now. Like you know what I mean? It's definitely not worth it. Like a friend of mine, I talked about him Mervin, the one with the car channel, right?
Yeah. You went to the auto show.
Well, yeah, we went to the auto show together. Yeah. So he bought Titanfall 2. I keep asking him to game share it with me. I don't know if he's going to, but yeah, I'm fucking game share with me, bitch.
You could let us know how the campaign is, because I heard it's really good.
I know. I think he's. I'm gonna probably ask him next time I see him.
All right.
But I want to have him on the show soon as well. But from what he's telling me, the game is really good, and like even the online is quite good apparently.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what skill level you are. I think you could compete and you could still play, which is really cool. And I think he bought it for like, because it was on sale for $40, I think.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like $30 or $40. Like, only a few months after it came out.
Wow.
So all I've heard is positive things about this game, but I feel like the release date was like not the greatest. Like
because they had so many competitors.
Yeah, the release date was really shitty. Yeah, I think if it came out around the same time, it would have been a really cool thing. Like. Yeah. You'd go in the store and then you have like 3 different shooters to pick from.
That would have been dope.
You know what I mean? Like you have the middle ground, which is Titanfall, because it's like right in between. Because Call of Duty is now like the most futuristic.
It's like,
it's weird. It used to be like, okay, is it Call of Duty or Halo?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Or whatever is for PlayStation, Resistance or whatever. But now it's like Battlefield is like the one that you're sort of looking, and it's like all different playstyle. Because Battlefield is more of like a war sim.
Yeah.
Titanfall is like the complete opposite of that. And then Modern or Call of Duty is like the complete, it's like a huge jump.
Yeah.
It's and every game that comes out, it just gets less and less common for you to buy a Call of Duty game like when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because before, whenever a new Call of Duty came out, I'd buy it right away. Because everyone would buy it, right? All my friends would buy it, and we'd all play online.
Yeah.
but it's becoming less and less a trend to like buy a Call of Duty game when it comes out, because now we're looking at like what they're doing and what they're bringing, and we don't really see a reason to buy it.
That's why I feel like a lot of people should like kind of vote with their money. You know what I mean? Like if you like certain game, then buy it. But if you don't, like that's the only way that like the higher ups they see their sales. If it goes down, they're going to change things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think people have honestly. Black Ops 2 is the best one.
Yeah.
That's the last Call of Duty I played.
That was probably the best one as far as like what they had in the game.
Yeah.
I think they should have listened, because I feel like
after like when they start adding like the wall jumps, super jumps and stuff, like that's when they completely lost me. Right? Yeah.
I think even Black Ops 2 they had like advanced tech.
No, they didn't.
They had like
I think they had like the sliding and all that shit.
No, they had dolphin dive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think Black Ops 2 is where it started, like that whole futuristic. It really started around that time.
That was
like
with like
they should have looked at the success,
like the drones and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the success of Black Ops 2. I think that's like probably the furthest they should have went with tech.
Yeah.
And then Black Ops 3 was like literally
they went overboard.
That's all what it was. Like in Black Ops 3, I remember they had one thing.
But you know what they're doing though, right? Go ahead.
No. Finish off.
No, so I feel like what they did was like very, very lazy. Okay. Because they obviously built the engine, because I think Advanced Warfare came out before that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a
Black Ops 2.
I feel like this is what I see in like they keep advertising as like a new engine, but it's the exact same engine. They just like tweak it so it's like slightly improved, but they advertise it as like a brand new engine, but they just like modify it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I guess,
but I feel like they have to take the next step and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like create a new engine for their games. Otherwise, it's gonna be limited by the engine.
Exactly, and like to kind of clarify, like to kind of go off what he's saying, like so people could understand more. If you guys don't know what an engine is, but like essentially, I feel like what they're doing is they're taking the foundation of like, for Black Ops 3, I think this is what they did, right? So Advanced Warfare came out before Black Ops 3, right?
Yeah.
So they took Advanced Warfare, like the fundamentals and like the floating. Remember the fucking stupid ass commercials? Yeah. They took the tech, or they took like a part of that game, and then they mixed it with the Black Ops series, which was has already been made. So they literally took games that were already there and just combined them. They didn't really.
And also the thing, I think this is what limited them too, because it's like a yearly thing, right? So as they're developing one game and they release it, they have like another studio working on the next game already. So like whatever game, like technology they use from that game, they pass it on to the other studio, and they kind of incorporate it in their game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's recycling. It's like they just recycle ideas. And
I seen this. They took like a Modern Warfare CGI, like a part of the campaign, and they like copy and pasted that, and then like a newer Call of Duty, like exactly.
I saw that in the campaign. Like when the guy holds him up,
the helicopter door. Yeah, it's like exactly. They changed like the character, but like the animation exactly.
So they just reskinned it. They just reskinned it.
Yeah, it was reskin.
See, and that's what a lot of people were scared of when a game like Battlefield, when Battlefront came out. They literally thought it was going to be Call of Duty. I mean, Battlefield with a Star Wars skin over it, but it wasn't. And I think that's what surprised a lot of people, because normally a Battlefront game is very realistic, but Battlefront almost feels more like Call of Duty than anything else.
Yeah, more like an arcadey thing, like not too.
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, there's no game chat.
Yeah,
which is fucking. I don't know why they did that. That was fucking.
A lot of the games they're like removing that aspect, but that's like a huge.
Like Gears of War. Like Gears of War is one of those games where, if you don't have a mic, and like people are gonna rage, like people don't want to play. Like you'll see this happen a lot. They'll quit mid game. Like if they see you're doing bad and they can't fucking tell you to like step up your shit, they'll just leave the game, and then you're gonna get your ass ripped. Like pretty much. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know why they're removing that from the game. Like that makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Interactive, exactly.
But I guess because they don't like people shit talking the other team, I guess, so they want like.
I know, but it's so weird because
that's the game though.
But that's literally the motto, like Xbox Live or whatever. Like Xbox was is like the founder as far as game chat. Like
Yeah.
I think that was the first console that they had that on, right?
Yeah.
And not having something like that really enables you, like in the old Xbox, like you could rate players like if they were using foul
Oh yeah,
language,
it's
like, and
yeah.
you would get, depending on where you
would get matched up with those players that are
yeah. So
rated
if you like
in your
someone that
ratings.
swore, you'd get matched up with those type of players.
That's cool. Because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't like get stuck like swearing at a 5-year-old.
But you're not disabling that.
But even then,
yeah.
like games are like a lot of games, like a lot of kids, kids play these games, and they're not even like of age.
They're
to
not
play
even
them.
at the age of the rating of the game.
95%
Like their
of the
parents
time,
buy it for them.
Like I won't lie, I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
Bro, I played fucking Gears of War, fucking bodies and blood, everything
Yeah,
at like
exactly. I
15.
remember playing Diablo when I was like maybe 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy. Like I think the age, the rating, has no meaning anymore.
At all. Unless you have like
I
one of those
actually,
parents.
I have a little story. I was at EB Games, and this kid, he came in to buy GTA 4,
Mhm.
5, sorry, and like the woman just shut him down, and then I left, and I was about to be like, "Yo, bro, you want me to go buy this for you?" But I've done that before. Like, there's been a time where I actually bought a game for a kid because he couldn't buy it,
Yeah.
and I sort of felt bad, but at the same time, I'm just like, the fact that I'm even able to do this and still buy it for him is stupid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like, they're like, as long as you have someone else that's 18. I'm like, okay.
It's kind of like when you go to like a theater and you're watching like a, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could just
Yeah.
go with your parents or like, like you could bypass it kind of.
That doesn't make any sense to me. It never makes sense to me. Like, there's titties in this movie, so if you're alone, you can't watch it. But if your
Yeah.
mom's watching titties with you, then it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Because you're
okay.
under
It doesn't make any
supervision.
sense.
Yeah.
She could cover your eyes.
Exactly. Oh, God. But I was going to touch upon something, like, just like you were saying, like, in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know how now recently, like, a lot of movies are coming back, like, from our childhood, like Beauty and the Beast, like all these movies, and they're doing really good. I feel like companies should just look at that and learn from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of gamers are people like our age. Like, a lot of them are kids too.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these kids, they don't really care as much as we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We like the vintage.
Exactly.
We grew up when game was like on its.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
on its
grew up like,
rise.
yeah. Our childhoods, I think, like for millennials, I guess we can call ourselves.
Yeah.
We had the best childhood because we literally went through every era of gaming.
The best game. Yeah, exactly.
With the rise of technology.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they went back to the roots, like to have like a more old school type of game,
Mhm.
like these young gamers won't give a crap. They'll still play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They won't be like, "Oh, I want my plasma gun." Or what. No, they're still gonna play it, and they'll probably like it more than they do.
I love how you use that plasma gun shit all the time. The plasma gun. But yeah, no, I completely
Explosions,
feel that, bro.
everywhere.
Like that's definitely something I understand, and like it goes back to what I was saying about games that lived up to the hype. Like I think if a game that was previously released a long time ago, if they made like a newer version of that would be super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wish they came out with like for example, let's do a really old school game. Let's go
Spiral.
like a Spyro game, or like something that really made the console that like that game really defined that console.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like the Halo 5,
Mhm.
I really thought, like, I think it's mostly because they're not the same. It's not the same developer. You know what I mean? Because Bungie went off and did Destiny.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like if Bungie ever returned to the Halo franchise, I think the game would be so good.
They could kind of like
Like
save
it would
it
revive
or like
it, because now Halo,
revitalize
like
it.
it's a completely different beast now. It's so much faster and quicker.
Yeah.
But what's a game that you'd really want to like see another of?
I have to think of this.
Yeah. Well, I could always
Well,
come back
Alvin,
to you, bro.
do you have any childhood
I
games
was
that
just
you
saying-
wish?
I was like maybe 2 years ago. I was thinking about Crash Bandicoot, and I downloaded it like on I think it was on my PS3. I downloaded it, but it was the original, so
Yeah.
the graphics were like really bad. The resolution was like horrible.
Mm.
But now they're coming out I think at the end of this year, the beginning of next year, they're coming out with a new Crash Bandicoot game for PS4.
Mm.
So I'm like so excited about that because that was my childhood literally.
Yeah, just titles like that we're familiar with. Like
Yeah.
for example, like this has been in the talks or in the I hope that EA noticed, but everyone's wanted a fucking remake or a remastered version of Need for Speed Underground 2.
Oh,
yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Riders of the Storm.
yeah, like a dog without a bone. You know, like,
Yeah, that I was thinking back, like Need for Speed was like one of my childhood.
that's like,
Yeah.
it's definitely one of my favorite
Franchises.
games, bro. On PC too. I used to play on
Yeah.
PC.
Oh yeah, I played on the PS2.
Most
Like,
Wanted,
insanely.
Hot Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit. I played Porsche Unleashed and all those games there.
Yeah.
Like, those were fucking cool. And like, I don't know why, but like, so you know that EA they came out with a Need for Speed Underground like recently, or
Yeah.
no, they just called it Need
Oh.
for Speed, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just Need for Speed.
But it went back to those like they
Did it
have.
really?
Yeah. They have a good foundation there. Like it worked, but it didn't work that well.
You know, one thing I don't understand about like racing games nowadays.
Mm.
Well, not racing games, but like mainly Need for Speed.
Mm.
Like, why is it not 2-player anymore?
What do you mean, like split screen?
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of games are doing that to like because they're afraid of their frame rate dropping and shit.
Maybe that's probably it.
Because
might be a hardware.
like for example, I know in Halo a really popular thing is to do split screen. Like that's a huge thing in
Yeah.
Halo. From what I heard, apparently they removed it from the game because the game doesn't run as well as it does on single player.
Oh, jeez.
So I guess to like, you know what I mean? Just to say your game runs at 60 FPS, you know, like I
But
know.
that's a huge blow for what it's worth. Like it's a huge blow.
Yeah.
But I think they should leave it up. If people want split screen, just put 30. I guess like
Exactly.
Yeah.
compromise, but at least give them the option to use
But
it.
then
Like
again,
I stopped buying Need for Speed games because of that. Because I used to play with my brother and like my sisters and stuff.
yeah.
Then there was one player. I'm like, wow, like I'm not the type to just sit down and play a card game. I know like it's like some people like it.
Mm.
Me personally, I don't like it to
Mhm.
just play by myself.
Yeah.
When I'm playing with like someone else, it's mad fun. You know what I mean? But now they removed that.
Like even this For Honor game, apparently they built the game with a split screen in mind. Like they
No
built it
way.
with multiplayer and they removed it
oh,
before they released it.
damn, that would have been
Okay.
so sick.
Did they say why, or it's probably
They touched on it. They said it had
performance
something
thing
to do with
again.
performance of the game.
Oh, okay.
Like it didn't perform as well as they intended it to. But like I said, this happens so frequently.
Sometimes they say that, and other times they just want people to buy another console to play with their
To play-
friends.
but that
Yeah,
Yeah, I
goes
mean-
back to exactly. It's like they
it's
want
all
you
about
to.
that money.
They want.
They
the
want
money.
them play like through their own console with their friends online. They
Like
don't-
obviously it's a better experience, but
yeah,
if you have like siblings and stuff, they're not gonna buy another console if you live in the same freaking house. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
And you see a lot of going back to what I was saying about games that lived up to the hype. So Destiny, for example, right? I never got to play Destiny, but I know if I bought it, I probably wouldn't have played it unless a friend of mine played it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the thing, because it's like kind of a grind fest.
Yeah.
So if you don't have someone with you, it's like I'm not trying to bash it, but
Mm.
it's gonna be like bored. You're gonna get bored of it
Mm.
easily if you don't have someone next to you like playing with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a Simpsons Hit and Run remaster.
That'll be fun.
Like the amount of hours I spent on that game is actually like stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's like stupid. I would stay up till like 8 in the morning and then go to take the bus at 8:15 in the morning.
Yeah,
Really.
Like it was ridiculous. Like that game.
I
was
played a
ridiculous.
ton of WWE games.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
those are the best.
I don't
bro.
know. I don't like the newer ones. So.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I don't know about the newer ones, but they don't give me like the same.
No, not because
feeling.
it's a different engine, bro.
Yeah.
The engine's not. It's 2K that makes the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I think it's Ukes. They use, from what I remember, they're using like a modified version of the old engine,
Okay.
but it's not the same. The fluidity isn't the same.
yeah.
Like all the SmackDown games, all those are so great, bro. So many good memories. So many good memories on those things,
Yeah.
bro. And I don't know if you like. I think Majid and I grew up watching wrestling. Did you watch wrestling, bro?
From time to time.
From
Never
time to
never like actually like sat down and like was like, okay, this match is coming up, you know.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
this fight's coming up. But I did watch from time to time, yeah.
That was like some good shit, bro. Like
One like the Undertaker was like
Yeah.
If he was on, I would if I was like announced he was gonna fight, like I would go. I would
Yeah.
watch it.
yeah, the Undertaker freaked me out when I was young, bro.
Yeah.
Used to freak me the fuck out. And
Remember Paul Bearer?
Paul
He
Bearer.
freaked me out. Kind of.
like that's fucking hilarious because you know a pallbearer is like a person that carries the casket or whatever.
Okay.
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
They're
And
called
that's his name?
pallbearers, right? They're called pallbearers, right?
Yeah.
But his name was pallbearer, so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like Undertaker's kryptonite or something.
Yeah.
No, like, he was like his sidekick, like
Really?
he always accompanied him on.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had,
And
like,
he
a-
was like his spokesperson, kind of.
He spoke for him, and like
Yeah.
he had like
and
an
he had like
urn.
super high pitched voice.
He had an urn. That's
Hey,
funny.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so funny. We'll probably leave some clips in the background of this video of the Undertaker if you guys don't know who that is.
That's
Yeah.
a joke.
Hopefully WWE.
And then he
doesn't
had like a
copyright
biker
us.
phase too. Like he wanted to like remember
What?
Undertaker, like when he came back to the WWE, he was like a biker.
Oh yeah.
What?
He like took a hiatus and then he came back as like a biker.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was, I don't know. I didn't feel that too
What's
much.
sad is like how like wrestling is fake and everything.
Oh my god. My friend Tino, like T-Dude64, he's gonna hate that you said that.
Really? He
Yeah.
doesn't think it's fake?
What? I don't know. Well,
like
well,
to a
I-
certain extent, like
to a
obviously
certain degree,
they're
like
not
I think
hitting each other, but they do have like the physical.
there's a lot
Yeah,
of
obviously, yeah.
physical.
s-
But
some-
they're not actually
pain.
trying to hurt each other. That's what it. That's
Yeah,
what I mean,
yeah.
But the fact that what I was gonna say is that it's sad that it's like fake,
Mm.
but yet people actually some people actually die.
yeah.
That's what like it.
No, because you know
crazy.
what it is. The thing
a
is, you can
performance.
you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
only you can
but
only
it's not
fake
fake.
you
to
can
the-
only fake things
yeah.
so much. Like a lot of the chair shots are real. A lot like the collisions, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
impact, like when they're slamming each other on things. Like these are real things. Like you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know.
I think it's kind of like, kind of rude to dismiss it as like it's completely fake. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not.
but
completely
there
fake.
there's that aspect to it, but to a certain degree, like
Okay.
there is actual like
And like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to be
it.
athletically inclined to
Yeah.
do those things.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you can't just be a
definitely,
fucking
definitely.
wimp and do those
And
things.
I heard like a lot of like the old school wrestlers, they're like super like addicted to like painkillers and stuff.
Yeah,
from like
Jesus.
years of, because the thing is, they have like back-to-back events. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the human body, like they're pushing it to the limit. You know?
Yeah, it's a
And
hell
that's
of
why
a
a lot
job,
of
man.
wrestlers die
That's
young
why,
because
like,
of drug problems.
That's why UFC, you could say like, quote unquote real fighting.
Yeah,
That's why they have like one fight every like,
a couple of months.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like wrestling is like back to back, like pushing your body to the limit.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're
That's worse
actually
if you
fighting,
ask- if you
like
ask
they
me.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's worse than one fight every couple of months or one real fight because it's still strenuous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Week to week.
And the thing is, you like as much as it's like staged and everything, you need to make it seem real.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you're gonna like there are gonna be times when it does look
But
fucking real.
remember that YouTube channel you showed me, Botchamania?
Botchamania.
That was
Yeah.
so jokes where they
Yeah.
show like where they botched like the performance.
Yeah, like they fuck up. Like it's a video. It's a guy. He literally makes videos of like catching people in the act of doing something stupid or
That's
like
hilarious.
in
Or
a
like
race.
when they misplay like the punch or something, so you
Yeah.
see it like, yeah,
It's so funny, bro. But I think that's all part of it. I think that's all. That's what makes it great.
hilarious.
yeah.
So, is there anything you guys want to touch on? No,
Not really.
no. I think this has been a pretty chill episode, guys.
Yeah, mad
Yeah.
chill, yo.
Pretty chill. So, games that lived up to the hype. If you guys have some games you thought lived up to the hype or that didn't, leave a comment below in the video.
Yeah.
This is the Q&A podcast. My name's Quinn.
My name's Alvin.
My name is Majid.
I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.